Yeah, so let's get started now by designing the minifig. So I'll go here to new. Let me find the folder as usual. Siemens, I'll click OK. And we're gonna call this one minifig head. Say OK. So perhaps to just a little bit of review with regards to last time, right? Doing all of the revolves and just making use of symmetry. So let's go here to, if you go to the picture that I sent you guys earlier, just try to find one that looks like this, like the standard minifig. And by the way, you can use any bigger minifig head. I'm using this one because I think it's the simplest one. So let me see if I can open just the image in a new tab, and it's right here. So I'm gonna save this image right here as, actually, I'll probably take see if I can do a snip of this. 1 second. New, because it doesn't let me save as a JPEG, so that's fine. Let's say here, save. Yeah, I'm say save. I'm just gonna, there we go. Here, okay. All right, so let's start with this one. So as usual, if you guys go in here to tools, you'll go to raster image, and we can select the plane. It could be that one as an example. So let's select, I think it's PNG. Here, the minifig head. We're gonna bring that up. I don't care. We learned last time how to scale things up, so I'll just make that 200 as usual. I'll say, okay, good. So now the strategy, and I think this will be rather simple for all of us, is let's just trace half of the minifig head. So I'll just get us started in here, but I promise I will walk around. So here, okay. And then we're gonna revolve this. I chose this one in particular, this picture, because it looks like a front view. Sometimes, you know, the view is a little bit angled, so that messes up some of the things we do. By the way, I'm not sure whether you guys saw the Coke video, the one where I make like the can of Coke. It's not terribly different than this, like the strategy. I also brought an image of the Coke can and traced it out. Okay, that looks roughly like the half. So I'm just gonna draw more or less like that. Yeah, up to there. Maybe here to there like that. Okay. Just draw a spline. Okay, let's draw another one down here. And that's essentially it. That is as easy. Actually, one, no, we'll leave it like this, and I'll say finish. I'm gonna do another sketch on the same face in here. And in this sketch, very simply, all I'm gonna do is just trace a circle to make one of our guys' eyes. I'm just gonna leave it right there. And then I'm gonna do half of the smile, and I'll use that line as a mirroring line. So let me see if I can project this line. Yeah, I'll just make it a construction. And now using our friend the spline, yeah, just leave it up to there. And you can play around and just not have it, we're just designing without the smile or with a different kind of face. You could even etch, like you could choose, like, I don't know, like some famous person's face and just etch it like this, bring in another picture. Okay, that's good. So now I'll go here to mirror and I'll mirror these guys around here. And now we have most of our guy design. Okay, perfect. So what do we do from here? And again, I'll go around in just a second to help you guys out. But you go to where it says revolve. No, but it's the wrong revolve. So I'm gonna go here, revolve. I'll choose these guys and then vector that one. I'll say okay. You see like how very simply you have like the face of the guy. Let's get rid of the picture because I don't need it. I'm gonna say okay. And now one thing that I'm gonna do is go here to datum plane, and I'm gonna create a plane that is a little bit at a distance. So let's say 150 as an example. So if I were to do now a sketch in that plane, all I want to project is like the face of our guy. So I'll go here to more, project curve, and I'm gonna choose his eyes and the smile. There we go. I'm just wondering why some I'm just struggling in here to make it work. Well, meanwhile, when I'm doing this, you guys, I'll walk around with you guys in just a second. Just wanna figure out why it's not working. So I'm just gonna go here to, yeah, suppose you have it like this or something like that. Yes, I'll just say unite. So then what we do is the following thing. I'm gonna do a sketch. It's not my favorite thing, but it's fine. I can do a little here, a little offset of all of those guys, but I'll make an offset by 0.1. I'll say okay. And then actually, yes, I think that's fine. And then I'm actually gonna do another offset of all of these curves. Let me just do, actually, let me do this offset. I'm gonna do single curve, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. You'll see what's the meaning of this in just a second. And then I'll do yet another offset here, a single curves. I'll make it like, I don't know, like 30. Then that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I'll say okay. And now I'm just gonna join here. I'll join there. And now, I mean, this is like a hack, but it will do the trick because then you do here revolve. Yeah, and I'll select the vector. I'll say that one. There we go. And I'll say subtract. And I'll say okay. And these guys, I can just hide them. Let's see. Oh, you know what I should have done? There we go. I'm gonna, maybe this I'll make it none. I'll say okay. So then this revolve, I'll have it select body. It's gonna be those guys. I did it with that one. And now I need to do another revolve in here. As you call, I think there's an even easier way of doing this. See if I can make the offset a little bit bigger. Like that. Okay, not my finest, but at least it does do the trick, which is what we wanted in here. So did you guys understand like that idea? There's just you make it and then you're just with the revolve you're subtracting. So at least you can notice the eyes. So then we can color them in a second. The only thing that I would do from here, I will go here to sketch to the top face, and then perhaps do a little circle over there. And I can make that maybe like 70. I'll say yes. I should probably bring, let's bring it all the way there. I'll go finish. Let me just extrude downwards by 20. I'll say okay. And you can do the same thing here. So I go here to sketch, top. That's 100. I should like that. Okay, almost done in here. And just the last couple of things I'll do is here I'll do a couple of edge blends just to make it look a little bit more organic. I'll say okay. And now assign feature color, I can make all of these. Let's find strong yellow. Let's see what that color looks like. Different features, assign all of those guys. I say apply. And now for the eyes, assign feature color, I can make those black. Apply. Okay, doesn't look terrible. At least you can recognize it's a little face. Let me go around and then we can make the helmet real quick. I think it's gonna be a little bit easier. So suppose you reach this point, let's do the helmet very quickly. And to do the helmet, I'm gonna first save this file. And here, go here to file and save the face. So we're gonna use the same dimensions. Do save as of this piece. Let's call it minifig helmet. I'll say okay. So now you have the like a version of this. And why am I doing this? Because now I'm gonna hide the entirety. The only sketch that I'm gonna bring up is the original one, which is half of our minifig. And the reason why we're doing this is, oh, I just you see like the little icons. Oh. I can just show them hide like that. And the reason for this is because I just want to have the general dimensions of this thing. So I go here to sketch. I'll do a sketch in the same plane as we originally did our minifig. And the only line, I'm gonna go here to more, project curve. I'm gonna project the original line that we had, which is that one. And then I go to arch. Yeah, and I can bring it up by a little bit more, something like that. Then I'll go here to more, project curve. I need to project that one as well. I'm gonna bring that all the way up to there. Need to make sure that these guys parallel. Okay. I can make that like 15 or so. I'm gonna bring this all the way up to there, most likely. I'm gonna go here to project curve. That one right there. Well, actually, should you guys are not seeing much. I should there we go. Make that bigger. I'm gonna make a little arch. That will be like that. Maybe come all the way up to there. and make another arch. Yeah, so we need to make this look, we need to beautify it a little bit more. Okay, that is roughly where I wanted this to be. And I'll make that distance be also 15. I want again make construction. Okay, so it's nothing too fancy in here. It's just making like this the overall profile. Because once you have this, I'll go to where it says finish, and I'm gonna revolve that, and I'll specify the vector. I'll use that one. So now you have your helmet. And I'm gonna hide that, and all that remains to be done is doing another sketch that is gonna be, yes, it could be in the top plane. It doesn't matter. And perhaps it could be useful to, oh, I cannot see it. Yes, I want to show that in there. That way I have it as a reference. So I'm going to do a little arch that goes maybe something like this. If you go back to the pictures, right, and you look at the, let me see if I can open image, a new tab. Look at the helmet. It's as if it had an arch of sorts. Well, perhaps it's more like a rectangle. That's, I think it will be more like that. So I can go here to, draw something that looks roughly like that. It doesn't matter, this is just for a test, but I can go to extrude. I'll do a subtraction -50, or let's say -200. Oh, 200. Let's do -200 and say okay. And now I could do an edge blend. Like over there, and make that look a lot nicer. Yeah, -15 or maybe 20. So it looks more like the helmet. Actually, it doesn't look too bad, huh? Like that. Do you guys want me to go over again the process of doing this? The helmet? Yeah, we're just trying it out first. Yeah, so let's go. Let's return to say this point. So were you able to save the minifig again? Okay, so hide everything but this sketch. In fact, you can get rid of the picture if you want. And just leave this one. So do a new sketch. Oh, just let me go. Oh, you got it. Excellent. Yeah, so you have this sketch. So do a new one on the same plane as you drew this one originally. Click on OK. And then I'm gonna start projecting stuff. So go here to more, project. So you can project that. And I'm gonna project those two primarily. I'm gonna bring this all the way to the bottom, just like that. Just gonna mute there. There we go. And then I'm gonna bring that up like that. I'm gonna also project this curve in here. And the reason for that is because I'm gonna trace an arch that goes, maybe I should bring this one up by a little bit like that. So now, yes, you trace an arch that goes from this point to that point. Okay. And maybe you can modify it as you want. So it's essentially drawing now the profile of the helmet. I should make these two collinear. There we go. You could also, an even simpler thing to do now would be just make these two collinear, like that, and say okay. And you can just define this to be, say, 15. And then you can also define this height in here to be 15. And then you can go to offset and offset these guys. Well, with the exception of that one, because let me just try again. Offset. There we go. And I'm gonna offset by 15. I say okay. So now you have an identical profile to that one. Yeah, it doesn't. It's just it's over constrained, but that's okay. Maybe I'll just get rid. Okay, the error disappeared. So once you have this point, you'll say finish. So now you can go to revolve. I'm going to specify the vector. You say that. So you have this part of the helmet being drawn. Okay. So then you just do a rectangle cut. I'll do another sketch in here, the top plane. I just drew a rectangle. Go and say, I don't, you can always modify this as we go, not super important. But the idea is that with that rectangle, then you're gonna extrude it in both directions. You click OK, and then you do an edge blend. There. You say OK. So you have something that looks more or less like that. And I'm gonna say finish. Yeah, let me walk around helping you guys. I think I'm gonna color mine for a second. And let's see. I'll make it blue.
How did you do a little
The like the extrude. Okay, so now suppose you reach this point, that way we can go into the Lego bricks. You have the helmet, you have the figure, so let's put them together, right? Let's see how they look like. So now you go here to file, new, but this is we're gonna do something different. We'll go here to where it says assembly instead. And we're gonna go deeper into assemblies in just a moment when we do all of the Lego bricks. But the point is that you go there, I'm gonna call it head, helmet. Oh, helmet like that. I'll say okay. Boom. So it will ask you first for like a part to insert. So let me find the minifig head. I'll say okay. Apply. Good. Actually, I don't think I saved this. Well, I should rename that. And then, all right. So I got the figure in here. You see, it's like mostly. If I click in this in this thing and you go to where it says assemblies, you can move it. I can say, yeah, dynamic is fine. So I can just move it around if you want it in a particular space. Generally, the first thing that you bring, just say apply, doesn't matter. You're gonna enforce something that's called the fixed constraint, which is you just want that to be fixed in space. That's generally what I would do. And then you can see we're gonna speak about constraints more in a little bit, but to see them, you yes, it is. You click in this button where it says, so you have to be in the assembly tab. You click in where it says fix, and I just selected the object. Of course. And then in this tab here to the left, where you have I guess the L-shaped symbol, you'll see that you have a list of all of the constraints that you will enforce. Are you here for the CAD class?
Sorry?
Are you here for the CAD class?
GIS.
We could do a GIS project at some point, actually, but it's very different. And now you go where it says add component. And where it says select part, let's bring the helmet now. And select here. I can just bring it over there. So you have to click where it says select object, and I'll bring it down there, and I'll say apply. Okay, good. So now you see that our helmet comes with that piece in there. So I need to figure out why. There's actually one very easy way to resolve that. So I'll go here to the helmet. Let me just edit that for a moment. Yes, I'll say none, which means I can probably get rid of that, or I'll say suppress. There we go. I'll say save. Still showing. Suppress. There we go. Ah, suppress. It's fine. In other words, I'm getting rid of some of the original stuff that we used to design the helmet. But now you see that it's in the conditions that we want it to be. Does that make sense, that idea there? I'm not sure whether when you guys brought your helmets, whether it was still showing the. Let me help you guys for a moment before we. Here, so let's do, this is, I guess, one of the more simpler assemblies that we'll do. But if you are at this point, you fix the head, so then we can start imposing these constraints. So there's a lot of different constraints that we can say. For instance, there's this one that's called, I want to do concentric, yes, but the one that we'll use the most is this one called align, which is right here. So I can click in align, and I can say, right, select motion object is gonna be like this guy. I'll select actually the rounded part of this first, then select stationary object. I'll select that one in there. So you see how prefer center axis over it? Yes. So they become concentric now. That's what it did. Were you guys able to follow that? Okay. And I'll say, fine. So we got it in there. So now if I were to move this object, especially orientation, it doesn't matter. The only ways I could actually move it is either up and down like this, or it's actually to the rotation. So I can bring this on a rotation of 90. I'll say apply. So I have it like that. So then I enforce another align constraint, which is between the top face in there of our helmet and then the top face of our Lego guy in here. Oh, how did I move it up and down? In here, you go to where it says move, select orientation, and you just bring it. Actually, I could just leave it like that, and it's perfectly fine. And I can say, okay. Huh? But the reality is that I want this face and that face to be aligned. There we go. So now it's completely flat. I can say, okay. So that's a very simple assembly. You have your face and your guy. I'll go around to show it, but at least I want to start moving into the bricks. So I'll say here, save. And I'll click here. Okay, so in the interest of time, I think you guys will probably figure out how to design the bricks. So if you go, let's go here to, you guys have to, you know how to find the website, right? The how to CAD into the NX. Just try to find this version if you can. And then what we're gonna do is go here to, actually, if you go to where it says session 5, you can use this drawing that you see there, which we will learn in a moment how to make some, well, not this one, you can see it in the video, but we'll do a similar one to this one. But if you can follow this drawing to make one of the bricks. So that one, I leave it up to you, as I think we don't need to spend time doing that. Instead, I'm gonna click on pretty much most of these bricks, and I'll bring them and I'll download them to save some time. So we're gonna start building stuff. So I'll go to this one and I'll download I'll go to this one and I'll download. I'll go to that one and I'll download that one and I'll download. So that's the 2x2. Let's bring the 2x2, this one. Okay, download. I'll pretty much just bring all of them. So how many do I have? 2x3 plate, which means this is the next one I want to download. 2x4. 2x4 plate. 2x6 plate. 2x8. And I don't need the plane. Let me just. And then once you did, bring all of those parts into whatever folder that you're using. So I'll do that as well. So I'll go here, do the folder file. Then we'll have all of the downloads. So I'm gonna bring these guys like this into my Siemens NX folder. That way they're all stored in here. With so I'll just leave them like that. And in the meantime, if I find, oh, here it is. We're gonna try and do something that looks like that little airplane. So let's go here, let's do a new assembly. So let's go file new assembly and let's call it Lego biplane. We say, okay. So we need to start adding components. So do you have an idea? I want to design something that looks, so this one we can all do it together at the same time. I think it should be easier. I want to design something that looks like this. Okay. So an approach for this is, let's select part. So I'm gonna bring at first the 2x4 brick. So I click here in OK. Yeah, whatever. Select position. Oh no, what am I doing? Just the brick. Component. Sorry for that. Oh, it is already there. Okay, good. So this is the first brick that we brought. So we want to fix this one in space. So I'll click fix and I'll say, okay, that's it. So that's the very first thing that we're gonna start with now. If we go to the picture, we need to kind of assemble. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's like 10 stubs, right? Like I'm thinking in terms of like little thingies. So perhaps we can bring a 2x3 brick that we can put here and another 2x3 brick that we can put on the other side. So go to add component, select part. I'm gonna bring now the 2x3, which is right there. I click on OK, and location, I'll place it kind of next to it. It's fine. And I'm gonna bring another one, 2x3. And I'll place it like kind of to the left. Okay. So the one thing that I will say is that doing assemblies in Siemens, when you're doing with Lego bricks, for those that are watching online, it's a little bit less straightforward than actually playing with Legos in the real world. It takes you a little bit more time to assemble stuff, even if it's as simple as this. So why? Well, say you're at this point. So now we're gonna primarily work using this align mate. This is, don't worry about the other ones because I think they're just too complicated and sometimes they give you errors. So focus on these ones, which I think are the easiest ones. So let's click on align, select motion object is gonna be this one. So I'll select, say, that face, and I'm gonna select the face of this brick, which is fixed. So you see how now this face and that face, they are aligned, which is good. So I'll click on OK. I could do another align mate where I bring this face to be also at the same height as that one. I'll say, okay. So now the last mate or constraint that remains is selecting this face, selecting that face. Oh, you see how it's, actually, I'm gonna go back here to constraints. I'm gonna get rid of that one. It already gives me errors. So I'll need to select this face, select that one. Well, let's say that I want to reverse. There we go. I click on OK. That's perfect. So I'll do the same thing with this brick in here. I'll click on, say, first this face and that face. And you click on reverse direction if you don't like how it's doing it. So that brings this face and that face to be touching each other. And that's exactly what we want. Then these two, I'll click on apply. And then these two, I click on apply. That's it. So now you have a, I guess, 10 tall in here. We're gonna do a little competition. I'll give you all 20 minutes. How does that sound?
Who can build the best plane?
Who can build the best plane? So I'm gonna try doing mine, and the minute I'm done with mine, I'll go around helping you guys with your airplane. Do your own one. See how it goes on. If you can beat the master, then you've earned my respect. So I'm gonna start. Let's do it. The component. Yes, I'm thinking here what we do. I think this is a lot easier than, I'm glad that we started with the bricks directly, because if we had to design each one of these bricks individually, it could have been a little bit of work. So, I'm better not to be like that. Okay, so I'm gonna click this guy. Remember about this move command. Say I want to start putting wings. So I'm gonna just rotate this around. It will save us, there we go, a little bit of work. The only constraint that you have is that you just have the parts that you downloaded. You're not allowed to design new ones. Let me know if when you're putting the constraint, if it ever gives you an error, and I can come and help you. How do you quickly rotate? You click on where it says move, and then you click on the part, and you go to specify orientation, and I can just move it like this.
Oh.
So you'll need that exactly when you do the like the wings when you bring them. It's a little bit of a learning curve to do assemblies. And don't get me wrong, when I was like first learning this, not trivial. I think now I kind of get the gist. You see, like now it gives me like an error. So I'm still figuring it out slowly. By one. I think there's a brick that I forgot to download, which is the 2x2 slanted. Need to bring it from here. Remember to also make use of the stubs. Like that can help you. I can give you a little bit of. need to design one more brick, which is not terribly difficult to do. Also, I'll show you how to do that in a second. I need to design this 2x1, but I need to make it into a plate. And you'll see why that's the case soon. Yes, so I'm like, so I line them with the pegs. No, just bear in mind that I've designed a plane already, which means I was struggling so much. Now, what you guys see on the YouTube videos is like the final version, right? I do cut like the hours that I'm just trying to figure out. Even as you guys saw me today, like sometimes here you could do, I can select this peg and say that I want that peg to be aligned with that one. So that's how it works.
Software. What is your favorite?
At least in terms of accessibility, the Onshape, because it's free. Right? Like anybody can use it, but I know this one is pretty quick, even though I started my journey with SolidWorks, so that one is the one that I'm the most familiar with. It's a matter of, the more you use them, the more like familiar that you become. And I kind of like this one. This one is decentish. Yeah, I'm almost done. I need to bring a couple more things, and then I'm gonna do new component. Oh. Open, yeah. Fine. Okay, so suppose you reach an airplane that looks like this, or wherever you might be, it's fine. A couple of things. If you go here to it says view, hide, it says show and hide. There should be a button in here that says assembly constraints. So you're hiding, that because I don't want to see it. This bad boy in there, if you double click on it, you can also move it away. There we go. Let's click escape. So you have your plane. Now, if you were to say select this brick and I do Control J, you can change the color. So I can make that one violet. I say apply. And now if I were to select that one, I do Control J, and we can make that one green. Select apply. Or I think that's more aqua rather than anything else. Oh, and you say, okay, now we go to like this plate down there, Control J, and I can make this one like yellowish. I click apply. So you can change some of the colors of your brick. Now there's one last thing that I want to do. I want to put like a one by one brick that goes here in the top of this piece. So perhaps you might be wondering, how do I do that? It's very simple. If you wanted to create more bricks out of the baseline brick, I suggest that we open, let's go here to home. Oh, here, file, open. I'm gonna open say the 2x2. Actually, not even. The one that I'm gonna start with is the 2x1. I'll say here, reopen. It's fine. So what I wanna do with this one is I go here to file, save as, and I'm gonna call this one the 1x1 brick. I'll say, okay. Or did I cancel it? But now I'm gonna close the biplane for a second. I say, yeah, part only. Yes. Okay. Let me just open again the 2x1. Sometimes what happens, a thing that I show is that if I were to create a copy of this brick while I have the assembly open, the brick as well updates in the assembly and it gives me a lot of errors. So it's better not to do that. Let's see whether did it save. Let me see the 1x1 brick. Is it even here? No, I don't see it here, which means I can create a new one from here. So I'll go here to file, save as. I'm gonna call this one the 1x1. Okay, so what do I want to do with this? I want to, all right, so that one is fine, that one is fine, that one is fine. So I'm gonna go here to the fundamentals, which is sketch number 1. And I'm gonna edit this sketch. So instead of having 8x16, I'm gonna make this 8x8, and I'll click on finish. You see it's gonna give me a number of errors, but these are related to the pattern. So the pattern, actually, I don't even need a pattern. I can just get rid of it. There you go. So I just very simply modified it to a 1x1 brick, which is what I wanted. So I'll go here to file, save as, and now I'm gonna make yet another version of this brick, which is called the 1x1 plate. and I click here in OK. And this one is very simple to do because I go here to sketch. I'll do sketch here in that face, and I'll go to where it says project curve. I'll project all of these guys right here. And I click on apply. And I can just extrude. I'm gonna subtract. So I think the height of a brick is 9.6, which means I want to subtract by 2 times 9.6 over 3. Let's see whether that even works. Maybe I need to say negative. There we go. Okay. So in other words, I only want a third. Like, you know how it, like Lego math works, you have like a brick or the plate is generally a third of the height. And now I'm gonna hide this. And why did I do this? Because now I'm gonna open again our friend the biplane. Good. Oh, I guess it didn't save the slanted brick. Yeah, I'll just bring them in a moment. I'll go here to assemblies, add component, and I'll bring the plate. I'll say apply, and I'll bring also the 1x1, which is here. I'll say apply. So I'm gonna build a little structure in here, which is very simple. I'll actually need to add component. I'll add one more. I'll bring it down there. But the thing is that there's an even easier way to do the plane. I can mirror everything to the other side. So if I go here to align, let me very quickly put this face and this face together. Let's say apply, then I can bring this stud and that stud to be aligned as well. And go here to this face. Then let's go here to this face and this face. I'll say apply, and then finally this and this. Now they're all aligned. And then I can bring this to the wing. I'll say apply, and now I want this stud to be aligned with, say, that one right here. Actually, that is not the alignment that I wanted, so I'll go here to the constraints. Let me see if I can, there we go. I'll go to my last one and I'll edit it. I want actually, I think it's this tab. No, that's tab. Very good. Okay, that was really it, because now in the same, we can go to home and create a plane. So I'll go here to entire assembly and I'll make a plane that is between this face and that face. So it's a bisector plane. I'll say apply. And the reason why we're doing that is because if we go to assemblies, you can go to where it says mirror assembly. I'll say next. So selected components, I want that one, that one, and that one. I'll click on next. It's gonna prompt me to select the plane. So it's that one. I'll say next, next, next. So it appears there. So now I have an exact copy of this thing. Oh, actually, it didn't mirror perfectly fine. Let me just see that. Let me try again the next. Oh, I guess I might need to redo the mates, so I'll do those very quickly. Let's see. Yeah, and then I can say Oh, actually, that is very wrong. There we go. Oh, I see it mirrored the other way around. Okay, I'll just get rid of these. Okay, so that seemed to work a little bit better, even though it did give a little error. There we go. It was giving me errors where it was suppressing this part, and it's because that's why I had asked you, all of you guys, to put all of the same parts in the same folder. Because if you cannot find the parts, it's a problem. But yeah, suppose just the last thing I want to do in the last 10 minutes, regardless of where you're standing with your plane, I'll let you guys work with it afterwards, but let's make an exploded view of this thing. And so how do you do that? You type in here, exploded, explosions, and I'll explain what that is in a second. But you're clicking where it says new explosion, and it's as simple as this. So you click in this part, you click yes on manual, specify orientation. So it's like you're literally undoing all of what you did, but you'll see why it's quite cool. But you can show like a picture of how everything gets together. So I'll say apply, and then I can click on that one and say that I want it to come like that. I say apply, and I'm gonna move it to that side as well. I'm gonna manual. I'll bring it up as well. I'll say apply, and then I'm just gonna move it in here. I'll say apply, and then here. So, and then I'll close. So you have this view, which is normally your exploded view, even though when you come to like model views, if I were to click on isometric, it shows you back again your plane. But if I were to go again to exploded or explosions, you have it's your trimetric view, which is this one. One thing that will be handy is that suppose I like this angle like this, I can always go to model views, right click, and say that I want add view. So I can rename this one to be exploded view. So I go to back, and it brings me back to where we were, right? Which is our airplane. But if I were to go to exploded view, it is the one. So it's something that will be convenient because now we can go here to say, well, actually, I'll let you, if you guys want to do an exploded view of your own, just give it a shot. I'll do one. I'll continue editing the one that I have, and I'll show you where this is useful in a second. I'm just going to go back here. And edit explosion. There we go. So I continue doing a little bit more. So the painful thing, as you'll probably start to realize soon, is that the more bricks that you put, the more work it will be to make the exploded view, but I think that's fine.
Food.
Yes. So you go here, you just click on, you see where it says model views? Just click on any other view and it will bring you back to your original view. That you're happy with this exploded view, right? It's not my finest, but the whole point is that now I'm gonna do one last thing. In explosions, there's this thing that's called trace lines. What are the trace lines? Well, you click in here and I can say, all right, I want to show how, say, this part and this part were connected originally, and you say apply. Or I want to show how maybe this part and this part were originally connected, so you say apply. So it's in essence, it's saying, all right, that part is supposed to go next to that one. I can say, all right, I want another one between here and you see apply, between here and there, and you say apply, you say cancel. And the great thing about the trace lines is that you can edit them. I think you can, let me see if I can edit. There we go. You can move the little arrows. So you can say, all right, I want this to be shown like this better. So you have a lot of patience. You can add all of the trace lines between your different bricks. But let's do what I wanted to show you, which is going to here to actually, I think it's in applications, and we'll click in drafting. So you go to where it says drafting, and you say, all right, let's use a standard use template. I'm gonna say A4. So I'm gonna give you a very, very quick rundown of how to create a drawing out of this. You click OK. I'm gonna say, all right, first issued by Andy, drawn by Andy, like that. I say close. So you see it appears in there where it's populating. And then you go to base view. And the view, you can see how I did the drawings in the video. I think it's gonna be a little bit clearer. In this one, I wanna show you how to make a drawing of, yes, I say inferred, and I'm gonna bring the exploded view. That's the view that we created. So I'm gonna bring this bad boy right there. And I'll say close, click escape. Now, a couple of different things. Clicking here. Yeah, this is so inconvenient. You go there and you have to make sure that that one is checked. That's it. And you click on close. So now that allows you to, now I can select the title drawing in here. And here, edit definition. And then you go to where it says edit table. And now, yes, you can start editing all of this stuff in here. So you right click there and you can say edit text and you can write how to CAD, for instance. Okay. Other thing that you can do is you can actually select here and you can move the size. And here I can also edit text, or let's see what it does in there. I can get rid of that picture as an example. I could actually get rid of, I can move, I could potentially move, there we go, all of that stuff somewhere else, which would be there. And once you're done with the table, you just click on finish edit table. But you can continue and say apply. But just a couple of other things you could do is go here to the balloon and start. I can add a balloon in there. And if you right click here in edit the balloon, specify, you go down here, select terminating object. I can say, all right, I want a little arrow all the way up to there, and I can call that object number 1 as an example. So you can start showing how everything comes together. Maybe your figure. Just go here to application, drafting. Yes, I'm gonna get rid of this one because this one is just like that. In fact, I'll get rid of that sheet. Actually, okay. Go back here. I'm gonna create a new sheet. Whatever. I think this is, I'll change it afterwards, but this is super important because if you learn how to create drawings, then you're all set. And here we're actually gonna, you can go here to 1, 1, you can put a ratio. I'm gonna use 0.75. Let's make it slightly smaller. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this view. I think I'm fine with this one. Then I'm gonna bring another, let's see, isometric. I'll come up with another view. Let's see. Back, no. Let's see, front, no. Let's see, left. Oh, this one, that's the one I wanted. But I want the scale of this one to be as well 0.75. Say okay. I'll get into that in just a second. So you go to where it says layer. You go to layer settings. You have to, yes, you have to make sure that that is clicked on. Because normally it isn't. And what that allows you to do now is I can go to the table, go to settings, and I cannot do settings. I can go here to edit definition. And there's a bunch of things that I can change. I go here to edit table. And for instance, how am I gonna get rid of this entire? Oh, it should allow me to. Yeah, here. Yes, it allows me to. This I could bring it down there. Oh, I'll figure it out in a second with that one. But here you can right click there, just call it CAD. But now that's too small. So there you go to settings. And in here you can say you want the height of that to be like 5. You make it a little bit bigger. The same thing in there. You can go here to edit. You can call it Lego. Oh, Lego plane. Click on OK. But then you go back to settings. So you can say, right, I want that to be like 9. And then in the cell, you can say you want that to be top center or top, actually middle center. There was it goes right there. Now when you can also edit cell, call that drawing 1 as an example. You click on OK, and these ones we can just delete them. And since we're here, I can go here to edit cell, call that, we said it was 0.75 to 1. Click on OK. unsure about why this is giving us such a big time. If you go here, you could lettering on shell. I could make the line invisible, in which case
Smart.
I don't see it. Do you see it?
No.
And then when you're done, you click on finish edit table. So you're like here and say, yeah, so I say, okay, good. You see these boxes? The way to get rid of those, oh, I think it's this one if I'm not mistaken. Oh, perfect. Yeah, so you're almost done in here per se. The last thing that you can add is you can add a number of notes saying in here, all right, this is the like, front
Yeah.
view. That which I'm very clear that that's the case. In fact, I can bring that down. I didn't remember. I bring this bad boy there. Generally, you kind of want like there these two to be aligned.
Yeah.
That way, it's clear. So I can go here to node. I can add another one there that says that's the top view. I'm also using use an excuse so that I can put this view instead of the fail at the beginning. So thank you for sticking along. Yeah,
No,
like,
yeah, no, that's good to know.
but at least you know you get to learn it.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, that one it is interfering at the same time with that, which is not a problem. I'm just gonna do Control Z. I'll write the node in here and call that side view. I'll say close. Over there. Now you go. Let's save this. So you go Control M. You're back here, and the reason why I want to be back here is I kind of like say this view of the airplane. So I'll go actually here model views, add view, and we can call actually I'm gonna rename this. I'll call it isometric view. Good. We go back to applications to drafting page view, and I'm gonna bring this one that's called isometric view, and I wanna place it right there, and we'll make the scale up back ratio. That way we can add a little note in here. See that that's the isometric view. Okay, almost there. I mean, you could just be done this way. A couple of things you could do, so you can add like balloons and
Yeah.
I can add that one in there. Well, I can edit this, say that I want to terminate like there as an example. And I can add like a number and say close. So then there is this, you can add this thing that's called the parts list. For to add this, I should have done a little bit more space.
Yeah.
That way it fits there. It's all right. That part number 1. So that's the 2x4. So I should have named this instead number 7 as an example. Or you could add a note in here saying something like item number 1 is a 2x8. Yes, close. That's it. So then if you wanna, once you're happy to save this, just bring it to, I would actually go here, I would do zoom. I would zoom to this view because the student version, sadly, you cannot print this PDF. You go here to file, export, image, and you're exporting this that we're seeing right now. I can say like, okay. So now let's take a look at exactly what it exported, and it is this. So you can actually crop it. Yeah, we thought. Let's see. Does it work? That's that. Questions?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for thinking out. Now, yes, I'm gonna end the recording. So.